He Says, He Said podcast with your host, Coach Cody, and
Nina Marie.
She loves to say her name.
No, he made me say that, so, you know.
But if I don't say it, you're like, Nina Marie.
I guess.
Why have you like? I really feel like you like. I'm saying. But please don't do it. I want to get trolled. I'm not a woman yet.
He cares what they're saying.
You know, I care about.
They know that I'm playing.
Man, come on. We're going to talk about this episode, and this episode is. Tell us what this episode is, man.
So, today, we're going to talk about. Right here. Who is more responsible for failed relationships in 2021? Men or
being a certified relationship coach, I realized that
So you gonna go on the side and you think it's women?
I really would have to say that.
What? You biased because your situation that you got.
Oh, so we don't worry about situation?
Yeah. Yep. So, okay, I would say that who's responsible for failed relationships? If I had to choose an actual gender, I would say women. But if I want to be...
End of podcast.
No. If I want to be, real, I think that men and women have their play in, fucking up situations. You know what I'm saying? Like, first and foremost, a lot of us are still healing from parenting and trauma from our childhood and stuff like that. So I think that what we talked about in our previous, podcast, previous episode about, knowing yourself, mental health and breaking generational curses and stuff like that. Like, if you don't get to know why you tick the way you tick, then your relationships are going to fail. You're just going to bleed on people.
Yeah, there's a lot of that going on. Reading all over this. But I would say I don't think it's gender specific.
Okay.
I think that we need to identify what the root issue is. It's a lack of love, lack of, acceptance in the world. Mm-hmm. Or lack of knowledge about relationships and how to stay committed and how to stay faithful to their relationship or to that person. And I don't mean necessarily sexually committed or faithful, but work with this person if they have mental issues.
Yeah. I mean, I think the lack of education when it comes to even just, we live in a more popcorn society where everybody wants instant gratification quickly. And I'm not saying that there aren't certain times or situations where, you should get, instant gratification. But if you're on social media and we see, everybody's highlights of their life, we think that, that's reality. And it's like, that's not. You seeing people, relationship goals. You don't know the work that, people had to put just so they can get what they've gotten in that relationship, just so that it can be as successful as it appears to be. You know what I'm saying? Like, some relationships, I'm not going to hate that all social media relationships are fake, but I will say that there are some that we see that they probably put in a lot of work just to see the fruit that they, have right now. Just to see them reaping the benefits of what they sown previously before everybody else saw that shit. So
yeah, I think it's more so what you are willing to unpack with that person. Mm-hmm. Are you gonna be able to accept that that they may have been in an abusive relationship prior to this, and being able to respond to someone who has been in an abusive relationship,
Yeah.
And knowing how to handle that.
Yeah.
So again, I think it goes back to the lack of knowledge and understanding, maybe even to the individual.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I can speak for, I guess, my situation when it comes to, my experience as far as I'm dating, because I'm single. Hey, baby, wherever you are, okay? But no, but yeah. So I'm single and I'm out here, in these streets dating and stuff. And so one thing that I've noticed that the trend for me is that a lot of people don't know who they are. They don't, and then a lot of people don't spend enough time with themselves and sit with themselves to actually know why they act the way they act, or why they are the way they are. And a lot of times they'll try to distract themselves with a relationship or with whatever to distract them from. You need to sit with yourself. Like, you need to take time with yourself, look in the mirror, and be like, all right, what do I have going on? What's wrong with me? What's right with me? What are my strengths? What are my weaknesses? What can I contribute to a relationship? What can I not contribute to a relationship? What type of partner do I need, that can complement, my weaknesses and also, accept and congratulate my strengths, and if you're only looking for a relationship to fill some type of void or take the place of what the work you don't want to do, then yeah, you're gonna get yourself in some situations, and so that's something that I've been experiencing. So I think all of us, like you said, can do better at just sitting with yourself, taking a good look at yourself, and be like, you know what, and be compassionate with yourself while you're doing that. Just because you're holding yourself accountable, or just because you're sitting with yourself, and reflecting on who you are, it doesn't mean that you have to be harsh with yourself. You can still bring in that element of love, kindness, all the things that you need. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
As you were talking, I was thinking about what you said when people don't know who they are. I feel like when you get into a relationship, a lot, and people may disagree with this, but I think you know who you are when you're in a relationship. You just don't want the other person to know the truth.
That's good.
And you might not like salmon, but you want to eat salmon because she cooked you salmon. And it's something as simple as that that makes you like, now you've been eating salmon for the past 15 years and you don't really like salmon. And as soon as somebody picks a pork chop, it's like, oh, she kicked the best damn pork chop.
Right.
This must be the one who was supposed to be with,
Yeah.
So I think it's more so accepting who you are, your likes, your dislikes, and allowing that individual to, here we go again, choose you.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah, definitely. I think that what I heard was showing up honestly, with people, because that is, I think, the best way that you're going to be able to have a healthy, relationship. And, but we all may get into relationships for all the wrong reasons. But I think that when you're ready for something genuine and something real, that's the time where you need to show up honestly, bear who you are. So.
Yeah, bear who you are. No. But in all seriousness, to kind of unpack this even more, what do you think is the reason for, let's just say, in your personal experience with dating, what do you think was the reason a lot of the things that the guys you dated where it didn't work out? Whether it was the guys that you attracted or even the person where you were at that moment?
So why it didn't work out?
Yeah, like what?
We weren't compatible.
But I mean, let's go deeper than just us being like. I feel like we We use it as an
was going to unpack it.
Oh, okay. Well, go ahead.
Give me a chance. Damn. When I say we weren't compatible, that means that, you know, our where we were, our paths didn't align, or maybe our personalities didn't mesh. Some of the men that I met, like this is one dude that I met, he would always say, "You're the escape. You're the escape." And, you know, after like kind of thinking about that, I'm like, look, what happens when I'm not the escape? What are you going to do? You know, like, are you only here because, you know, I am an escape from your life? Because, you know, some of the things that he would tell me he was going through, he was definitely stressed out. So I think, in my opinion, it seemed like he used our relationship as a way to escape from his life, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if that is solely your, you know, reason for why you're, you know, your drive, then when the tussle and the bustle does happen, or when, you know, shit hits the fan, you're not going to really stand the test of time, or even, you know, because I hate like saying that people have to stay together, because I don't agree with that either. But what I can say is, you know, in the context of, you know, getting into a relationship for all the right reasons, if your only reason is I need an escape, then yeah, this, you know, it's probably not going to work. It may not work out.
Because what happens when that individual needs to escape from you?
Right. Right. Right.
But,
What about you?
I was waiting on you to say that. So, let me open this up. Yeah.
Answer the damn question for me.
Right. Do you want to talk? Let's talk about. I don't want to say. You know, I'm supposed to get offended all the time. I hear it in the streets. But with my previous relationships, look at this.
You can talk. You can talk about.
Make sure
I talked about, you know, my previous relationship. You know.
Well, in my previous relationship, I think the biggest issue with that was we were both each other's escape from the reality that we had to face.
Yeah.
You know, and again, you know, like I said with your situation, like, what happens when now you need to escape from that person? When you need another escape, and you're always looking for an opportunity to escape. So with that, I think the biggest issue was that I don't even want to say that we weren't compatible. I don't think we were, either one of us were willing to, well, one person, like, no. This is what I want to unpack. I want to unpack it.
Opposites attract, definitely.
That's true. Yeah. But I think we weren't willing to
sort out y'all's differences or work through y'all's differences.
I don't think we were willing to work.
You were.
No, well, this is what I'm saying. Like, I feel one thing about me is if I see that you're no longer putting in the same effort as I am, it's like, all right, look, it is what it is.
But that's, what else can you do? Like, if someone tells you that they no longer want to, you know, they need a break from the relationship, or you know, they're leaning towards not being in a relationship, you can't force them to stay.
Yeah, and I guess in that last relationship, to be honest with you, I don't think I ever was. Again, I think it was an escape. Like, I didn't care if it didn't work out. You know what I mean? Like,
that's not true.
No, I cared. I think I cared about the individual. But it was like, after everything happened, it was like, well, at least my heart went in it. Like, I didn't get that involved in it, so it didn't affect me like it would have other relationships where I had actually been.
Yeah, but it happened fast, and it kind of ended fast.
Yeah, it happened. Yeah, it definitely happened so fast, you know. Boom, 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 boom. And then I woke up and I was single. And she was married.
I'm getting married.
You got a whole husband.
Married.
Yeah. But it's all good, you know.
But that's the thing, though. Like, you know, if we're, and let's just play devil's advocate with the situation. Let's just say that, you know, she got with you for the wrong reasons, and you were like an escape, and she thought that you would be an escape. let's say that, you're someone who actually wants a genuine, real, relationship, and you are welcoming with, everything that comes with it, problems, whatever, and I think when she saw that, and like I said, I'm playing devil's advocate, possibly when she saw that, she was like, well, you're not an escape anymore. Let me go and, find someone else that can be an escape or whatever. That could be, if you're using that situation and saying, that could be why,
I mean, it could be a bunch of reasons why, I think for me, and I'm gonna use this as like an example.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's looking for a Superman to save her. And one day I was like, I don't mind being Superman, but I need a Superwoman too. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, let's go save the world together.
Mm-hmm.
Like, one way of saving the world and I come back.
And you need a partner that is, actually is
purpose driven.
Not just that, but also willing to work through things with you. You can't, at the end, she tapped out, So it's like, you can't, what can you do? And I mean, granted, we use this example, but there's so many like things with that situation where it's kind of like, you know what? We kind of chopped it up as one of the reasons is, hey, people have a choice to say, okay, tried this, didn't like this, moving on, and we can talk about the what ifs or whatever like that. But that's why I feel like it's good to have closure. It's good to talk about things. And at the end of the day, she just wasn't that type of chick anyways to really do that, which kind of sucks. I mean, but hey, that could actually segue us into our next episode, like our pickers.
Right, because, well, look, see, this is the thing, like, I don't think that situation was where I picked wrong. You know what I mean? Because
I feel like you took a chance.
Yeah, I think I definitely took a chance.
Yeah, you took a chance.
I kind of, and to be honest with you, I kind of knew in my mind, I was like, oh, this might not work.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah, you kind of knew in the beginning, like, all right, this may or may not work. Just trusting God.
I was kind of betting on it not working, to be honest with you. But it was happening so. It was happening so smoothly that it was like, well.
Yeah, there were a lot of times or situations that were happening where it was like, oh, this might be something to this, especially, when you put God in it, when people start like, we're God driven or whatever,
right.
But it's like when someone starts to talk God to you, start to think, okay, maybe this is a God thing.
And another, and I stress to people, like, have your own personal relationship with God.
Yeah.
Please. Because I was told that, this was it, and if I had been the individual that didn't necessarily have that relationship with God, I'm like, all right, let's do this now.
Yeah.
Yeah. But one thing that God taught me was like, just trust me.
The thing is that your relationship with God wasn't what guided you out of that situation. I think God knew that it wasn't going to work because she was going to make that decision to not continue moving forward. And then I think, in the grand scheme of things, it still worked out for you,
Yeah, I mean, I think it's always going to work out for you good.
Yeah.
So for me, yeah, it definitely worked out good. And hopefully, perfectly worked out for her good too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I ain't got no ill work towards her,
So we're not blaming men or women, I think.
But we are blaming our exes. I'm kidding, guys.
But we are definitely, hopefully this will spark something in someone to like just take a deeper look within yourself, whether it's male or female, because I do believe that both genders have played a part in why, we've seen a lot of toxicity going on in these streets. So just look within yourself.
We always blame it on social media. I think that's problem is us comparing ourselves to the next person.
Definitely.
You know, I've heard so many people say, you know, like, if you don't do this and do this, like such and such a relationship, then I don't want it.
Yeah.
You know?
Expectations, unrealistic expectations.
Yes, that's another episode.
That's good.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to, you know,
leave the people with?
Mm-hmm.
I think with this episode, if I can leave people with anything, is find out why it's not working for you first. You know, why your last relationship didn't work out. And don't pinpoint what they did wrong. Pinpoint what you did wrong, what you know you did wrong, or what they may even say you did wrong. And work on that. So when you do move on to the next relationship, you can say, look, at least I'm doing this right, and I'm doing it better than I did the last one.
I'll piggyback on that, and I'll say that look at the patterns in your life, and not just the people that you choose, but also how your role, how you played that, how your role is played in, you know, your relationships that you're in, because it takes two, you know. I think a lot of times, you know, when we see things not go right or a relationship ends or whatever, then we're thinking like we want to point the blame at the other person, and rightfully so. That they probably had a hand in that relationship ending, but then also too, take the time to look at yourself too, and not just them, but take the time to look at yourself, and then also take the time to see, okay, how do I play a part in my own struggles in life and the type of people that I allow in my life? Like, I had to do that for myself. Like, all right, I have to take ownership and responsibility for my life. Why do I keep meeting the same type of people? Why do I keep choosing the same type of people? Why do I keep allowing certain things in my life? And let's start making steps forward in choosing better and doing better. And it doesn't mean you can be perfect, but you can take one step at a time and just do better each day. So that's
all right. You was dropping them nuggets over there, huh? She was demonstrating dropping nuggets. But that wraps up this episode. Again, you guys, if you are on YouTube, make sure you like, subscribe, send this video to somebody, you know, follow us on Instagram. And he said, I thought she was gonna come. She was gonna come.
I thought I was gonna the alley. I'm sorry. It's been a long day.
Messed up the whole alley.
I'm sorry. We run that back.
No, we're not gonna run it back no more. People done heard it already.
Okay.
But anyhow, we love you.
We love y'all.
You see him living. Help me.
I'm sorry.
Help me.
That was good. Oh, Lord. I feel like it was